I've always been curious, and if you've told this story before, my apologies, but you were you were given the, I guess, the gimmick, or you became the Goon at the WWF, and I'm curious, how did that all come about, and what are your lasting memories of, I guess, playing that role?
Well, I guess you know, in the time you're always you know, there's never been any place that I hadn't wrestled except for the WW, right?
Right.
Everywhere else I'd been there, you know, all across the country I've been in all the promotions, and
Right.
this is I'm getting towards the end of my career. I
Right.
mean, you know,
Right.
I'm I'm long in the tooth, if you will, right?
Right.
People know who I am. I've been around, and they know. So you're talking with Bruce Prichard all the time, and Bruce Prichard at the time was, you know, one of the men in charge.
Mhm.
And, you know, talk to him every once in a while, just trying to get in, trying to get in. Hey, is there any openings? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they bring you out and you know, do stuff. And they know your talent. And so they, you know, one day Bruce goes, well, you know, if you did come in, what would you do?
Right.
You know? And it's like, ah, you know?
Mhm.
And right there I thought, well, you know, you've had football players and you've had other athletes, but you've never had a hockey player. And no, never have.
Right.
And he goes, well, what are you thinking? And I'm on a conversation on a phone like I'm on a conversation with you right now with him.
Right.
And quite frankly, I haven't thought a lick about it.
Right. Right. It's kind of just happening on the cuff, right? You're just talking to him, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I'm just shooting from the hip. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm just throwing this as it comes to my mind. And I said, well, I don't know. You know, I said, well, you know, I can go out there and skate 3 periods, 20 minutes in a full gear. I bet I can wrestle for 15 minutes in hockey gear.
Mhm.
Ooh, okay. Wow. You know, so he thought, okay, I see. And he says, well, what are you thinking? I says, well, you know, God, you know, I'd take it right down to the skates, right down to the, you know, you can't go out there and wrestle in boots. What the hell? I'm a hockey player,
Right.
so I need skates.
Right.
I says, you know, we'll just get a pair of skates, right? We'll take the blades off of them, the toques, the blades,
Mhm.
and then we'll put the soft rubber, you know, the soles on there, and we'll stack them up high because, you
Mhm.
know, people have stacked them high. Short people have been stacking that shit high for years, right?
Right.
And I says, but we'll taper it in so that it tapers down so that it looks like it could be a skate.
I was gonna ask you about your boots, so I'm glad you're telling me this.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, all right, all right. And he says, well, all right, all right. And then, you know, so then we talk about it and do all that stuff, and then he takes it to Vince, and then he comes back with a phone call, I don't know, a couple days later, and he goes, yeah, Vince wants to call it the Goon. I says, I'm in. And then we just went from there, you know, and then you know, of course, what does a goon do? Well, I don't know, you know, kind of, yeah, you know, just get out there and try to do stuff and try to incorporate some of what a hockey player might do and that kind of stuff. And I says, well, if I'm going to be the goon, you know, if you're going to do all this, like I said, I'll go to the ring with gloves and stick and not a helmet. I'm not going. We won't go helmet, but in the full garb.
Right.
And then, you know, when I first start off, the first thing I'm going to do is like a hockey fight is just a bunch of punches, you know, boom, 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 and so that's what we did,
Right.
and tried to just kind of went on from there with it. Yeah, but you know, basically, the goon came on a phone call quickly, and Vince came up with the name, calling him the Goon, and that's where it's at.
How hard, Bill, was it to work in those boots? Because I'm glad you told the story of the boots. I remember seeing you as the Goon and noticing right away the boots, they were, they were lifted obviously, and they kind of tapered down. And I kept thinking to myself, that looked like a hard sole to work a wrestling match in.
Quite frankly, no, it wasn't at
It
all.
it wasn't
They
hard,
were like,
or
no, it wasn't
okay,
hard at all.
okay.
Well, imagine it's like well, did you ever wear platform shoes? I don't know, how old are you?
I mean, I'm 41. I've had on.
You're not old enough for platform shoes, but back in the 70s, I had a pair of orange suede platform shoes stacked they're like a 3-inch stack, and they had about a 6-inch heel on them, you know what I mean? This was in 1972 when I was in high school.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've never had a pair of those. Yeah, I must say.
Well, I had a pair of those.
Okay.
And they were cool, man. When I wore those, I was like, I was like 6'8", right? Anyway,
Right.
so when it came to making those skates, well, if you're gonna make skates, yeah, you got to have the look of standing on a skate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
And
had
it
to
did,
put
and
the
it
soul
looked just
on it.
like that. It really did.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you
I will say
tapered
that.
them down.
Yeah.
They just tapered in, you know. They tapered into, you were walking on, I don't know, I could go in the basement. I got them right here and pull them up and look at them. But you've got, the ball of your foot, I don't know how big your foot is, but, I mean, it tapers in about an inch from the size of my foot, how wide it is, and then it tapers in underneath the arch and kind of widens out just a little bit at the heel.
Right.
But it was easy. It wasn't hard at all. It didn't take nothing to get used to them. It just